Okay, if you are heading to the airport this summer, our first guest has expert tips to make your travel time so much easier. We welcome International Flight Attendant Kiki Butler. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Hannah.
Lots of us have big travel plans, and you really are the expert. How long have you been working as a flight attendant?
I have been a flight attendant for 34 years.
Okay, wow.
And I still love my job.
That's a great endorsement.
Yeah.
And you've flown all over the world, and you've seen probably every travel hiccup we could imagine, too.
Yes, very likely. I have experienced them all.
Okay, let's talk about some of your tips for us. You have very approachable, easy things we can all do. Beginning with, before we go, you're talking about booking early in the day?
I would.
Okay.
Highly recommend booking early in the day. So if things get messed up due to weather or mechanical delays, you can still get to your final destination and not lose a day of your vacation. By giving yourself extra time, you have more time to be rebooked on another flight.
Yeah.
And actually, if summer storms are brewing, generally the morning, the storms haven't hit yet.
That's true. A lot of that stuff happens to pop up in the afternoon. That's a great point. And always download your airline's app. Those are super beneficial.
Oh my goodness. I use the app, my airline's app, all the time.
Okay.
From the moment I wake up in the morning on my day of travel, I check my gate departure, my departure time. You, as a customer, can change your seat or look for your seat assignment. You can also check in generally 24 hours before your flight on that
nice.
app. You can check gates, baggage, flight connections. All the online in-flight entertainment is available to stream onto your personal device via that app, as well as Wi-Fi and free messaging. So
now you can order food before your flight
you
too.
You can
That's so
pre-order.
nice.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about them running out of what you want if you have your order in by a certain time.
Exactly.
You have to
I
be
always
prepared.
pack snacks. To be honest,
That's
I
true.
always have a granola bar and cheese sticks or something in my bag because you never know.
You never know. Okay, so we're going to section 2, which is actually packing and prepping for this flight. You've got some great examples for us of these cool packing cubes.
I am such a fan of these packing cubes. You can pack a lot in them, and they really help keep your suitcase orderly. I also am a fan of rolling luggage. I'm not big on folding or layering, but in fact, if you roll clothes in your suitcase, you can fit a lot more. Less is more, however.
That's
the
true.
fewer pair of shoes you bring, the better.
You got to edit.
Yes.
I always feel like the rolling is supposed to have less wrinkles, but my clothes are more wrinkly. I think I'm not doing it right.
Well, yes and no. I'm sure you're doing it right. Mine are ending up wrinkly too.
Yeah.
What I do is I do hang things when I get to my hotel room.
There
It's
you
one
go.
of the first things I do. You can also turn on your shower and make a little steam.
Yep, that's a good one. Okay, and then use carry-ons if possible, especially if you're bringing valuable stuff with you.
Exactly. Always in your carry-on bag, put all of your valuables, your electronics, but most especially any medication you might need. Not medication you might need for just that day, but let's say for your entire trip.
Yeah.
Just to have that handy, because those valuables you do want to keep close.
We've all had a story of lost luggage at some point, and it can take days sometimes to get your things back.
Completely.
Yeah.
I was once in Mexico with nothing but the clothes I had on, a bathing suit, and thankfully a little bathing suit wrap that I was able to wear as a skirt for 2 days with the same blouse.
There you go.
You know.
You can get through 48 hours with that.
Completely.
Okay, now let's move to the day of travel.
Yes.
I mean, you've got to get there early.
Yes,
You have
you
to.
want to get there early. And I've been out at PDX at 5 a.m. and I'm amazed at the crowds. There are lots of people up and at 'em.
Yes.
So even though it's a little painful to get up first thing in the morning and get out to the airport so early, you'll be glad you did.
You always will.
You have extra time to get through security, to run to the restroom, and grab a very good cup of coffee before you get on board. I will say just start early and get there early.
Yeah, it's always worth it. And I always say, especially if you're flying out of PDX, there is so much good food. And now there's even more retail. You can really have a nice little morning out there.
Exactly. I can't wait to see. I'm ready for the big
That's right. We're only a
unveil.
couple weeks away from the new terminal opening. Okay, compression gear.
Okay, yes. So I love compression socks. I highly recommend them for everyone. They will help you with circulation, and they're actually comfortable to wear. When I peel off my compression socks at the end of one of my long international trips, my legs still have energy. I still feel like I could go out, get a bite to eat, go for a walk. Whereas I find that the times that I have not worn them, really achy legs. So compression socks, super important. Hydration, super important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring your refillable water bottle. There's water stations all around the nation, all around airports to refill, and the flight attendants will also refill your bottle for you too.
And to that point, I mean, we've heard more and more about not drinking so much alcohol when you're flying because it's really tough on your body.
It really is. I avoid alcohol and even caffeine, even though I'm a huge coffee fan. But there's plenty of non-alcoholic beverages available on board, even sparkling waters, different flavored sparkling waters, juices.
Lots of
soda.
Options.
Absolutely.
You can find something
Hydration.
bubbly.
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay, and bringing your own neck pillow and headset. I love those neck pillows.
I love my neck pillow. In fact, and I've told my kids that they're not allowed to bring their AirPods on the airplane. I have spent so many flights searching through a business class seat for a lost item, or customers looking underneath their seats for those AirPods. They're wonderful, but they don't always connect with the entertainment. So it's better to have the real old-fashioned wired, have your own set. You'll be safe. Save your AirPods for when you're on the ground.
And you can get a nice, relatively inexpensive pair just for traveling if that's all you're using it for. That's actually a great idea. We talked about the compression gear, but also dressing in layers.
Oh, completely. I mean, dress for your actual voyage and not for your destination. Seriously, you want to be comfortable.
That's true.
Wear layers would be my best recommendation. And also, I oftentimes bring something like a sweatshirt or a sweater, or I love these scarves.
Oh, those are great.
I can use it as a blanket.
Yes.
Or I can wear it around my neck.
There you go.
So that's nice.
That's a twofer and less packing.
Between that and the neck pillow and the compression socks, I'm comfortable. One more note on the compression socks. I generally keep my shoes on. I highly recommend everyone keep their shoes on.
I do too, everyone.
If you're
You heard it
wandering
here.
Around, if you're
Keep
using
your
the
shoes on,
bathroom
please.
board. Exactly. Keep your shoes on. You really don't want to be barefoot or even stocking footed.
We could do a whole segment on that. Okay, I'm glad you said it. Okay, hotel safes. Let's talk about that once you arrive at your destination.
Once I arrive at my destination, hang up all those wrinkled, rolled clothes. I do put my valuables in the safe, my passport, my whatnot. However, I have found, and this is a trick I learned from another colleague, to put one of my work shoes, one of my shoes, in the safe.
Okay.
So then when I'm checking out the next morning and getting ready the next morning for my layover, I'm not going to forget my valuables in the safe because, you know, you're not going to walk out of your room with only one shoe on.
That's a great point. And you have a couple of ideas for us in terms of avoiding jet lag as well.
Oh, goodness. Jet lag, you know,
it happens.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
For sure. And especially on my international flights, I make a point to change my watch right away before we even take off. Like, I am already thinking of South African time.
There you go.
However, I do find that getting daylight as soon as you can after landing, light in your eyes really helps. And eating a protein-packed meal, scrambled eggs, something, as soon as you're on the ground. And then I do try to stay awake until bedtime, which might be 8 p.m. for me.
There you go.
But I will,
In some cases, 8's pretty late. I mean, I would say 7 o'clock if you're going that far out of your way.
Completely.
Once the sun goes down, that would be great. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Hannah.
Great chatting with you. Great tips. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this. Great job.